Hello everyone and welcome to Radio Free QuickBooks TV, RFQ-TV. We love having you here. Hopefully these episodes are helpful. And we are right now filming in the Pecos studio, 4th floor, Intuit, Plano, Texas. My name is Woody Adams. I'm a product specialist with Intuit. Been with Intuit about 8 years, dealing mostly in the realm of QuickBooks and QuickBooks related issues. So again, thanks for coming and also thanks for listening to the radio show. Yeah. Love having your patronage. Going on almost 2 years now. With Stacy and Don. Stacy Kildal, W Brolin. How you guys doing, Stacy?
I'm fabulous.
Yeah,
always. Yeah.
Very good.
How are you?
Good. Oh, doing well.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like I said, I've already been over the acquisition of the new coat.
I like
Loving
the
it.
coat. I like
Got the shirt too this morning on the way just to make sure.
Quite dapper.
Gregory House.
Yes.
Without the sneakers. Don't have the sneakers.
Or the cane.
And right. Thank you. And
but
by the way,
you should. Just it would be cool.
By the way, we're talking about 1099, 1096 today. Just that's the topic. We'll get to that in a sec. W Brolin, how's it going?
Yeah, hey, great. Things are great. Just making it happen. Like to talk about 1099s. So fun.
Yeah.
Such a great time of year. Following those suckers. So we'll talk a little bit about that today. And you know, obviously, desktop lover. Things work real well in desktop for 1099s.
We're going to have some fun with that.
But anyway, so we'll talk a little bit about that. But yeah, things are great.
In the topic, actually, when we first started, we were looking at, 1096s are now new in QBO, and that's where we're going to have some fun with Don with that one, because of course it's been in desktop forever. But we want to expand it to 1099 and the e-file service and also the wizard and what years are supported, et cetera, just so we're all aligned with processing 1099s.
Right.
So hopefully this is helpful. So Stacy, the 1096 in QuickBooks Online, can you tell the story of it? What is? No, it wasn't in there. What?
You guys got a while? Got a little bit of time?
Yeah, a little bit.
Go on one of my little rants. I do love QuickBooks Online. Everybody knows that, and the QBO team is very well aware of me being vocal about this. But the 1099s, you've always been able to print 1099s out of QBO, but you've never been able to print a 1096 out of QuickBooks Online. So they just rolled that out recently, and I did my first set of 1099s, 1096 for a client that Dawn and I actually share. I do her books, and Dawn does her taxes. Got hers done Friday, so we can now do that. Before, what I used to have to do was I used to have to drag my old typewriter out, and I'm not kidding. I had an old typewriter.
Is that like the old phone you use for the webinars?
Right, exactly.
The 1980s phone, because it's got a LAN connection.
Exactly.
Plugs into the wall.
It's old school, rotary dial. So I would have to either manually do them on my typewriter, and then that died. And by die, I mean I just didn't ever go get ribbon.
Ribbon, right.
That wasn't a full sentence, but go ahead.
I know.
I didn't know, don't go get.
Right.
That must be something in Michigan.
I just didn't go buy and replace the ribbon. So anyway, what I would do then is I would just convert the QuickBooks Online file to desktop file and print the 1099s.
Oh,
and
that doesn't sound real intuitive.
It was a little time consuming.
Yeah,
so now,
bam,
don't need to worry about it. It's all there.
So for me, why the 1096? Is it summary of the 1099s, or what is up with the 1096?
That's exactly what it is.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah. And the reasoning behind it is, I'm guessing, was that they were expecting you to e-file because you're using QuickBooks Online. Obviously, you're on the interwebs using that for your accounting system, so they were expecting you to e-file, but a lot of clients don't. They might have, small businesses might have just 1 or 2 1099s. So they really didn't do, they didn't want to e-file. They didn't want to pay the extra fee for just a couple 1099s. So I think that was the the theory behind that.
Interesting.
Yep.
And 1099s for QBO are in plus. You have to have the plus level for 1099s, and now
Yep.
you can do 1096s, which is nice. But of course, Don, you've been able to do 1096s in the desktop for as long as you can remember.
There hasn't been a hiccup, with the exception of the Wizard.
Okay, let's talk.
We're gonna talk about the
Let's move
Wizard
into the
a little
Wizard.
bit.
Go ahead. You weigh in first, and then let's talk
Yeah.
about supported years and.
So
Things
I
like that.
just have to admit that I struggle a little bit with the new Wizard. And I don't know if it's just me, which I'm going to say user error, you know, maybe just comfortable with the way the Wizard used to work. I thought it wasn't broken. So I guess that was a little confusing to me. But you know, certainly getting things mapped out. What I do like, and a change that was made, I want to say it was 10 or 11. In 10 or 11, you had to, I think it was 10, you had to enter an EIN before you could save the fact that they were eligible for a 1099.
Right.
I don't know if you remember those days.
Yeah.
But you were not able to check eligible for 1099, get that report, look to see if there's EINs missing or addresses. You could only, that just started in like 11.
Yeah.
Where you could actually just hit the eligible for
Right.
1099.
So the Wizard it's a 6-step process. And by the way, here are the supported years: 2012 QuickBooks, 2013 QuickBooks, 2012 and 13 Mac, and QBO Plus. They have the way to do it that excludes the 1099K payments. Remember, we went over this last year, right?
Yeah,
Because that
we
was
talked
really
about
the
it
year
on
it
the
went.
radio
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We have videos, by the way, for you guys. If you go to our YouTube channel, Radio Free QuickBooks, there's 3 different videos, one for QBO, one for Mac, and one for, of course, the desktop. And basically, the Wizard in 12 and 13, and there used to be an assistant tool, I forgot.
Yes.
And this is what you can do for what about the prior supported years, like 2010 and 11. So last year we had the 1099 assistant tool you could buy for $1, or if you're or if you're Roadmiser, it was free. I'm sorry, just why bother?
funny.
Okay,
So funny.
I love it.
It's good stuff.
Technically 99 cents, but I don't think there's any tax on that. But not so for this year. There's no assistant tool. So what you would do is upgrade the file to 12 or 13, and there is the Wizard. And for at least on the desktop side, it's a 6-step process.
Right.
And it does, I think it's for like people new to how do you do 1099s in QuickBooks. So make sure that you don't forget to check the box on the
Right.
vendor record or put in the address, or that's what I think it's for.
So let's talk a little
Yeah.
bit, just a couple minutes about that. You know, because this show, I think it's important. Again, it's another compliance related topic that we
Yeah.
love to talk about, compliance in so many ways. But having clients get those W-9s. Clients are getting notices from the IRS that the taxpayer ID number, or whatever, doesn't match up with the name, for
Right.
instance. And so they're really kind of coming down on that, and you know they're double checking to find out. And the reason why, for maybe not so obvious reasons, is if somebody owes the IRS money or there's some kind of a lien on their account.
Right.
The IRS wants you to start withholding money from them. There, you know, there's some legal courses of action and so on.
Sure.
So we've got to make sure that our clients are in compliance.
Yeah.
Wow, clients in compliance. I like that. That's mine.
Yeah.
But you guys
Patent.
can all use it.
Yes,
You
patent.
guys can all use it. Don't
No,
tell
no.
Joe about that one.
I won't
That's-
say.
He always
He won't know.
steals all those sayings when I see
Yeah.
him. I have so many of
He
them.
won't
But
know.
yeah,
many
so you know, you can hook up with a tax service. If you
Right.
do e-services online, you can actually
Oh, right,
do a
the
10-pin matching
1099
program.
e-file service.
Yes.
So
you
there's
use that. You're going there.
So there's that.
Oh, right.
Two separate
Okay.
things.
Okay.
10-pin matching program where you can match the tax ID number with the name that's filed with the tax ID
Oh.
number. And then the other thing that's really important is reading the instructions on the 1099s, that they're really the way that they have to be. You know, if it's a sole proprietor, the name. If it's a single
Right.
member LLC, it's got to be the name of the person, then the LLC. There's
Right.
there's rules and restrictions of how you're putting this information on the document, which may be why you're getting notices from the IRS
Yeah.
because they're saying, hey, this doesn't match up because you're not putting it in the correct structure. So some things for business owners and preparers to be aware
Right.
of. But yes, and there's the e-file service. I used it last year. I mean, I can't, off the top of my head, pricing, don't know. Maybe it's $25 or something.
So from January 1st through the 15th, it's $25 a company file. 16th on, it's $39.
They
And it
capitalize
supports it for
on
4
your
months.
delays
Right,
and
exactly.
your
yeah.
poor
Sure.
planning.
Right.
That's the
Exactly.
hey, you're not planning properly.
Yeah.
You're not done by the 15th.
Bad
We're gonna whack
baby-
you another 14
Bad
bucks.
babysitting.
That's right.
Right.
Exactly.
In Simpsons episode. so.
E-services. I monopolize that.
And by the way, the 1099
Right,
e-file
got that.
service works with desktop, works with QBO, but not with Mac, because not many things plug into QuickBooks for Mac. But Mac has the Wizard, the 12 and 13. So there is an option for 1099s this year, and then Stacy's going to jump into her QBO Plus and quickly demo 1096/1099. But there is the option. Just make sure if you have a client who's on 08 or 09, you're not going to give it back to them anyways. Upgrade the file to 12 or
you're not
13.
giving it to 'em.
Go through the wizard. There's no assistant tool. You're done.
Upgrade only
Yep.
to 11 if you want the old wizard.
Right. And I think Access Golden Parachute's still in there.
Yeah,
Right.
it's
It's in the
definitely still
list.
in there. There's some
Yeah.
tip. I can never remember the tip.
Yeah.
Me
But
either.
whatever.
Well, it's in
Not that
probably, I
important,
think
I
it's a
suppose.
Joe Woodard tip and trick.
Yeah.
1,000 tips
Yeah,
and tricks.
10 million.
1,000.
1,000 leagues under the sea.
We'll ask him
something like
in
that.
Florida. We'll ask him in
We'll ask him in Florida. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so go for it. Stacy, 1096?
Oh, am I demoing?
Yes.
Sure. Go
Okay,
for it.
so to get there, a lot of people ask, how do I print 1099s because they don't know where to go in QuickBooks Online
Yes, that's
Yes.
fair.
to do that.
Where do you
And
do that?
You go to
Chart of
the-
accounts or something?
No, not
Not
you-
chart of accounts?
No.
Vendor list?
Yes, vendor
Yeah.
list.
Vendor list.
So you're actually going to go to the vendor tab and then go to your vendor list. And one thing that I want to point out about QBO2 is whenever you click on a tab in QuickBooks Online, it's going to take you to whatever is the furthest left on the menu ribbon.
Yeah.
So you can customize that if you want. So,
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you
Oh,
can
right,
rearrange
right.
the
Rearrange
menu.
the menus.
So if you want to go to, you want income list to come up, you can have that, move that on your menu
Right.
for the
Because
customer tab.
sometimes my mouse will fall off the horizontal plane
Right.
and it'll go back to banking or something.
Right.
And I wanted customers,
Yes.
or in
You
this
know,
case, vendors.
you poor hovering
Right.
technique.
Or
Right.
hovering
Or hovering
technique.
Or hydroplaning.
Yeah,
Right.
your hydroplane, it's a mess.
So you're going to go to the vendor tab and then your vendor list in
Yeah.
QuickBooks Online, and then scroll all the way down to the bottom of the vendor list, and on the left side, I had to think about which hand that was for just a split second. You're going to click Prepare 1099 Miscellaneous Forms.
Oh.
And so that, you click on that, and it will bring up your all the vendors that you have marked as eligible for a 1099.
Nice.
What I really like about this is if there's anything missing, it shows up in red. And you
Right,
can
yes.
actually just click
That's what I
right
like, too.
on that vendor
Yeah.
and make any changes that you need to. And then you can go and print a sample 1099 and a sample 1096 so that you can align your printer.
Which is
So
key,
you
because you have
want
to
to
use
do that
pre-printed forms
first.
for that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, for that
always
one.
do that first
Yeah.
because every printer is different. So
Mm-hmm.
make sure you print the sample and do your alignments, and then you just print them out. You know,
Nice.
the copies that you have.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that I'm not gonna do the alignment. I'm just gonna tell you right up front.
Well, you have
You're gonna
Don't
e-file.
print out.
you have to.
I know,
No,
I'm
it
gonna
does-
pretend that I did.
Okay,
Did
yeah.
you print it out and read the thing? No.
I always hold it up in front of the window
Yeah,
with the form behind it.
I'm not doing that.
I do that because it is off and then you can't read
I'm
it.
not doing it.
I do. And then there's even an information sheet. You can print off what's called the 1099 information sheet, and it's
Yeah.
really a summary. It's a list,
Good.
not a summary, but it's a listing of all the 1099s that you're going to be sending out. So I always send that or give that to my clients so that they have that and they can keep that with a copy of the 1099 so that they know for that year which ones they sent out. And that's pretty much all you do. It's really easy peasy. I think.
Wow.
Remember QBO Plus, if you're in the QBO realm,
Plus.
you gotta be in QBO Plus. And if you're Dawn or Stacy and you're going through QBO A, the 1099s will be in there if your client's in Plus.
Right.
If they're in Essentials, you will not see
Right.
the option on the vendor list.
But
to
there
say
is a
sit.
workaround, so if you have a client that is on QBO
Nice.
Simple Start or Essentials, you can convert it to a desktop file and print them out that way.
Simple Start, I don't think
Little
you can go
tip.
to desktop though. I think it's gotta be out of Essentials and Plus
You
to go to
can't convert
desktop. I don't
from
believe
Simple
so.
Start? I
I know
think-
you can't come over. Can you go back?
I'm saying if you
Oh,
have a
right.
client that has a Simple Start or Essentials,
Right.
and you can just convert it to a desktop and then just print the
Do it
1099s that way.
there. Old school.
Or you can get out a typewriter and manually do it.
Or you can handwrite them.
Or handwrite them.
Looks so professional.
I have a client who did that last year. Yeah. Just handwrite
Or,
the
but the
1099s.
desktop, as far as I can remember, that's been in there.
Yeah, yeah.
The handwriting font, we'll use the handwriting font to
Yeah.
print out.
Right, exactly.
Perfect.
So that is 1099s, 1096s in QBO, QuickBooks Online Plus, 1096s now, I think since the last few months. And remember, on the desktop side, Pro Premier Enterprise, got to be in 12 or 13 to have the new wizard.
Yep.
For older years, if you want to play along with the IRS and do the whole excluded payments thing, you got to upgrade that file.
Yeah, you do.
Can't do it, and there's no assistant tool. I want to be very clear on that.
Yep, to exclude credit cards.
Very good. E-file service open through April. It supports for 4 months. $39
You got to get those 1099s in before February 28th, man. You got to get them in. They are fining people like mad.
It is another month, extra month.
Well, you have February 28th till February 28th to submit them to Social Security.
Yep.
Gotcha.
But they're coming down. They're fine. They're penalizing. You were late. You had this many forms. Bam.
Yeah.
Don't be late.
They're on you.
Yeah.
You
You're going to eat that. If you're preparing them, you're eating that.
You do a yard sale, you need a 1099.
Yeah.
Something
absolutely.
like that, anyway.
That's a whole other show.
Yeah,
we are talking compliance.
Yeah.
We're talking compliance.
Absolutely. We want to be compliant, and we support that. Radio Free QuickBooks. So thanks for listening to the show and watching Radio Free QuickBooks Television. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode on 1099/1096. We're going to hold the shot. Jill will join us. 3, 2, 1.
Thanks for watching this episode of RFQ-TV. For more episodes of RFQ-TV, you can check out intuitacademy.com. Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter, and if you'd like to continue the discussions, you can find us on LinkedIn.